Hello everyone, my name is Phoenix, and today we're going to talk about the Stardew Valley characters that you can romance. And what that means basically is that you've got 12 different candidates, you got 6 men and 6 women that you can romance in this game. And we're just going to talk about that because there are some benefits and there are some cons depending on who you choose. We're going to start out with number 12 as being voted the worst, and that's going to be Haley. Now, Haley, she has a lot of love gifts that you can provide for her, which are all universal loves except prismatic shards. You can give her sunflowers, fruit salad, pink cake, and coconut in order to get that done. And then you can move around to the liked gifts. She likes pretty much everything except vegetables. You can also give her daffodils. There are some hated gifts where she doesn't like any fish. She doesn't like clay, wild horseradish, and then of course prismatic shards. She hates prismatic shards. The best gifts that are considered for her is maple bars, eggplant parmesan, and bean hot pot. And this is considered to be the best gifts after you marry her. Haley is a great example of the fact that looks are not the most important factor in a person. She falls into the trope of a typical pretty blonde girl and can feel quite a bit like a princess, which that can be pretty annoying on the farm where hard work and soiling one's hands are inevitable, because she simply would not like getting dirty. She's quite easy to increase affinity with by just giving her daffodils constantly, which is a light gift by her, and since she's usually around the town center or by Marnie's farm, she's relatively easy to find. However, after marriage, the gifts she gives players are not amazing, because once you get married, you do have the opportunity to get gifts by the person that you choose to romance. Her rainy day gifts and the maple bar for breakfast are probably the best items that she gives you after marriage. So that's just a little bit of a rundown for Haley. Now, the second worst option is probably going to be Penny. Her loved gifts include poppy, melon, poppy seed muffins, tom kha soup, sandfish, diamond, emerald, red plate, and roots platter. I think those are a bit on the expensive side with Penny. Meanwhile, with her light gifts, she likes all milk and all artifacts. So it takes a little bit of a downward spiral between the loved and light gifts for her. But when you get to the hated gifts, she hates beer, grapes, holly, hops, mead, pale ale, pina colada, rabbit's foot, and wine. And then, of course, the best gifts that they quote after marriage is geodes and fried eel. So you can't really go too much with that either. Penny's ranking as a worst quote-unquote romance partner doesn't stem from her personality. Her personality is wonderful. I love having the little conversations with her. In fact, she's actually one of the sweetest villagers in Pelican Town, aka the whole game of Stardew Valley. She voluntarily teaches both Vincent and Jazz on a near daily basis and is always very concerned for her mother Pam's health. What makes Penny difficult is her taste in gifts, though. As we said when we spoke about her loved gifts, she loves items that tend to be very difficult to get one's hands on in the beginning of the game. So you have to be kind of seasoned in order to get Penny the things that she wants. But on the bright side, in the first year of spring, she can be romanced easily due to her liking of dandelions and leeks, which you can find those pretty much anywhere, as long as you go around foraging for them. Once she's married to you, though, her gifts include potential geodes and fried eel on rainy days. That increases the player's luck, aka you, but overall it does feel like a bit too much effort from the player's side, only because Like, you're really not getting what you deserve when you go through with Penny, if that makes sense. That's why she's voted the second worst. Now, we're gonna do the worst ones first, only because it makes sense. Because the third one is gonna be Alex. Alex is, that I wouldn't say he's a teenager, but he's maybe like a wannabe college football star. The gifts that he loves in the game, is like pretty much all Universal loves, so anything that everybody else loves, like he likes it as well. So that will include a complete breakfast and salmon dinner. His light gifts, he does enjoy the Universal liked gifts. He loves all types of egg dishes except the void egg, so make sure you don't give him the void egg. Unless you're purposely trying to get him to not like you, because you can do that as well. You can have them not like you on purpose. It's pretty easy. Next we'll move on to his hated gifts. He hates holly and he hates quartz. And then he just hates all the general Universal gifts as well. But the best gifts after marriage is probably the survival burger, dish of the sea, and then fried eel. Now, when you, the player, first come to Pelican Town, not everyone welcomes you with open arms, unfortunately. Some will act like neutral, while others will even brush you off until they get to know you better. Alex, however, is immediately kind to you, which is a breath of fresh air. However, Alex's ambition to become a pro athlete comes across as arrogance, so many occasions that can be pretty off-putting. I say so personally. He's often at the town center practicing, so he's easy to find 9 times out of 10. The difficulty with him is that his love gifts are expensive, and there's only 2 of them. His liked gifts include eggs of all kinds, save for the void eggs as we spoke of earlier, so players do have to wait until they get a coop to woo him pretty easily. And that just depends on like how fast you progress through your farm. After marriage, his gifts are nothing special either, save for a few special treats he can offer on rainy days. But I mean, that's just, it is what it is, to be honest with you. Next on the list for worst romances is going to be Sam. His love gifts are cactus fruit, maple bar, pizza, and tiger's eye, while his light gifts are all Universal dishes except he doesn't like coal, copper bars, gold ore, iridium bars, anything like that, and he does enjoy all forageables, so that's wild horseradish, daffodil, dandelion, leeks, like anything that you can really think of. Now his hated gifts, they're all Universal hate, so he's gonna hate pretty much everything that everybody else hates. He hates like all the type of bars. He hates coal, mayonnaise, pickles, and refined quartz. And then the best gifts after marriage is earth crystal and geode. Another person who's generally very kind towards the player right off the bat is going to be Sam. He's often found walking across the city to go to his part-time job at the Joja Mart, or skating in front of his house on his skateboard. Every Friday he'll also be at the inn with Sebastian and Abigail. Sam is an incredibly easy person to romance and please, as long as he's given pizza, which can also be bought like at the inn. He also likes Joja Cola, which can be found in the trash, or sometimes you can even get it when you fish, or you buy it from the inn at a vending machine. As a husband, however, he gives weak gifts that only benefit players during the early game, including earth crystals, normal geodes. Sam's issue is that he's not much of a cook, so he'll only offer 2 meals, pizza and pancakes. He's a sweet guy, but when it comes to who's better on the market, he just really fails to impress. So that's one thing that you have to look out for. Next on the list for worst candidates is going to be Elliot. Elliot, he loves all universal gifts, tonkatsu, pomegranate, lobster, crab cakes, squid ink, and duck feather. Um, he likes octopus and squid. Meanwhile, he will hate all the universal hates, amaranth, quartz, salmonberry, and sea cucumber. And then after marriage, he does give you some chowder, fish stew, and coffee. So if you ever need a little extra boost, then Elliot's the one to give you that. He's also an artistic soul. Living in Pelican Town, his cabin is found on the beach, where he writes his next big novel. He is an author. While he can usually be caught by the bridge leading to the beach or at the beach himself, he's quite difficult to please with loved gifts. Most fruits will charm his as light gifts as long as they're not salmon berries. He does not like salmon berries. Now, as a husband, he doesn't give players that many things aside from seafood meals and coffee. Every once in a while, that's just what he'll hand out for you. He's just not worth it, especially with his overly dramatic personality. With that said, players look for a sensitive and poetic man. Will find him very charming and kind-hearted if you choose to go that route with him. Next worst is going to be Sebastian. His love gifts are sashimi, pumpkin soup, frozen tear, obsidian, and void egg. His light gifts are all universal likes, flounder, and quart. Meanwhile, his hated gifts are going to be all universal hates, all artesian goods, all eggs, clay, complete breakfast, farmer's lunch, and omelet. Best gifts after marriage that he provides are void essence, batwing, and coffee. Sebastian comes across as very charming and as the edgy guy of Pelican Town with a mysterious air. In terms of his loved gifts, however, he is a bit picky. And he's also one of the more elusive villagers because of his personal schedule, which makes him hard to track down. Aside from sashimi, which is pretty easy to make from any gift, his love gifts are pretty difficult to find in the first year as well. Things don't get much better with Sebastian after marriage, though. His gifts are decent, but with other partners like Maru and Abigail that just provide more, there's no real reason to choose him over a few other candidates. So that's the list of the worst romanceable characters. We'll go ahead and go to the better one at, the list of one of the best or better candidates for romance. He loves all the universal love gifts. He loves pepper poppers, hot pepper, beer, and pizza. His light gifts, all universal likes except pickles. He likes all eggs except the void egg, and all fruit except the hot pepper. His hated gifts are pickles and quartz. And then the best gifts that he provides to you will be after marriage, which would be pepper poppers and pale ale. Shane is also known as the Chicken Man. Shane might be one of the more flawed characters in the game. He starts off pretty cold and rude, but his personal story is a sobering trip down a tale of depression. His heart events are easily the most emotional ones in Stardew Valley compared to the others. In terms of how easy he's to romance, Shane works at Jojo Mart initially. So catching him pretty early in the morning or later in the evening at the Star Drop Saloon is pretty easy for you to talk to him and give him his 2 gifts of the week. Just give him a beer there and it's one of his loved gifts. So that's another option you can do. After marriage, he mostly gifts players with junk food like pepper poppers, which are great for increasing speed. Occasionally, he'll also give players with pale ale, which is handy since it can be sold for a good price. But of all, he'll bring in some chickens to the player's farm after marriage. So if you wanted to go that route with him, you wouldn't have to essentially buy chickens because he just brings them for you. So you can save a little bit of extra money, but that's just overall your choice. Next best on the list is going to be Harvey, the town doctor. His love gifts are coffee, wine, super meal, truffle oil, and pickles. His light gifts are going to be all fruits and all forageables. His hated gifts, though, are among all the universal hates. He doesn't like coral, nautilus shell, rainbow shell, salmonberry, or spiceberry. But his best gifts that he provides to you after marriage is going to be complete breakfast and fried eel. Like I said earlier, he is the local doctor to Stardew Valley. He works at his clinic where he takes care of the sick. While he definitely has a noble life plan, Harvey can be a bit of a killjoy when it comes to simply how much he hates indulgent foods. Being a doctor, that's granted to happen. At least he'll always have the player's health in mind if you do choose his romance path. The best part about him is that he has a huge range of liked gifts. Many of which are foraged items that are simple to find if you just go looking for them. So that makes him pretty easy to romance. He's also one of the older looking bachelors in town, which creates a bit of a diversity as well for you. Harvey's romance storyline is actually not half bad either. He's a bit distant during the initial encounters just because he comes off as like kind of shy, but after marriage his gifts are not half bad, including the complete breakfast and fried eel, which probably ranks as the best in terms of effects for the player. Next on the list is going to be Maru. She is great. She is the daughter of Robin and Demetrius, and she's Sebastian's half-sister. She loves cauliflower, strawberry, rhubarb pie, miner's treats, cheese cauliflower, pepper poppers, radioactive gold and iridium bars, diamond and battery packs. Her light gifts are all universal likes except honey, maple syrup, and pickles. Her hated gifts, she hates holly, honey, pickles, snow yam, and truffle. Let's see here. Her best gifts after marriage, she does provide you with bombs that you can use in the mines, as well as the cherry bombs. Those are nice too. Quality fertilizer, refined quartz, warp totems, fried mushrooms, and crab cakes. She's a genius who also loves all the things science and technology. She's often working with either her dad Demetrius, or she actually also works in the clinic with Harvey. She's pretty much easy to approach because of the fact that she is such like a lovable, kind person. So with that being said, she is a good romance option as well. She's pretty expensive to bribe. Luckily, one of her light gifts is quartz, which makes her easy to get to know early during the first year. Her 10 heart event is also probably one of the more unique ones in the game and includes a large sentient robot. After marriage, she'll gift you with some of the absolute best items in the game that will hold value even mid to late game in Stardew Valley. So that's a better option as well. The next person on the list is going to be Emily. Emily loves all universal gifts. She also likes the survival burger, wool cloth, emerald, amethyst, jade, ruby, aquamarine, and topaz. Her light gifts, of course, is all universal, such as daffodil and quartz. She does have quite a few hated gifts, but that's fine. I mean, everyone hates something every once in a while. She hates fish tacos, holly maki roll, salmon dinners, and sashimi. But the gifts that she provides after marriage is bean hot pot, cloth, wool, omni geode, and refined quartz. So that's an option for you as well. She's a bit of an eccentric but colorful personality, and that does make her pretty charming, if I do say so myself. She's easy to find all year round since she works at the inn, and if players begin their quest for her heart early in the springtime, they can simply give her daffodils and quartz for easy relationship progress. So it's not too complicated, thankfully, if she is, if she's just in your area. Abigail is next on the list. She loves pufferfish, pumpkin, banana pudding, amethyst, blackberry cobbler, spicy eel, and chocolate cake. Her light gifts, she does like quartz. She does not like vegetables. Her hated gifts, she hates clay and holly. And then the best gifts that she provides to you after marriage is solar and or void essence, cherry bombs, tom kha soup, lobster bisque, fried mushroom, and crab cakes. Abigail is among community favorites, and despite her personality, it's pretty easy to see why. She's a gamer at heart, but also somewhat immature given how she's often acting rebellious and arguing with her mother, Caroline. That said, she's famously known for liking quartz, so early in the game, Abigail is an easy romance to start off with. And then last but not least, Leia. Leia is super, super sweet. She likes stir fry. She likes vegetable medley, poppy seed muffin, goat cheese, truffle, and wine. She likes all the universal likes. She likes all eggs except void eggs, all fruit, and all milk. She hates bread, hash browns, pancakes, pizza, and void eggs. And then her best gifts after marriage is coffee and fiddlehead fern. Leia is the artist of the town also, and though her gifts after marriage aren't the best by a long shot, she is by far the easiest person in town to get together with thanks to her liked foraging items. In fact, Leia even likes driftwood, which is a common piece of trash that you can find while fishing. Moreover, Leia is commonly found at the saloon most nights, so it's simple to find her and talk to her on a daily basis. Her story is also pretty engaging, and many creative types will relate to her. For players who value personality over in-game gains, Leia's definitely a better choice in that department. In choices of romance characters. Those who choose the fruit bat cave while you do the gameplay as well will benefit from her, since she'll occasionally give players mushrooms on rainy days and other foraged items. All in all, she fits in with the farmer's lifestyle pretty nicely. So that's just a list of the 6 best and the 6 worst. Like I said, at the end of the day though, it is about you and how you want to play. You don't necessarily have to go with the guide, but it is here if you want to references when you're trying to make your decision. But overall, it's your game, however you want to play, and whoever you want to experience a romance with, that comes first above everything else. So I mean, just a little quick video for you guys in regards to that gameplay. We'll be putting more guides out. I'll make sure that we see a little bit of everything with this, but I do hope that this guide finds you well and that you do enjoy what comes from it, and that you just have an overall great time picking who you would like to romance. This game is very cute and cozy. I don't think you could go bad with a choice. Like I said, it's whatever your game style is. With that being said, happy romancing.